Let's chat. Hi everyone, this is Tina with Overall Adventures. Thank you so much for joining me. I almost can't keep a straight face because I know what this video is going to be already. Okay, so there's been a few of you that have asked me to show my bullet journal on this channel, and I'm gonna do it, but I'm going to make the claim here that I have the most boring bullet journal you have ever seen. So we're gonna move quick because there's not much to share. And I could say yes, it's minimal. It's the most minimal bullet journal, but I really feel like that would be lying. It's truly what I think is boring, but just stick with me. Let me just talk to you a little bit about bullet journaling and what it means for me and how I use it. So if you don't know bullet journaling, it's a system developed by Ryder Carroll. I think that's his name. Gosh, all of a sudden that sounds weird. I've been bullet journaling since 2013 when I first heard about this system. It was back in the day of boho berry and sunshine and stationery, I think her name was. And it has evolved, the way I've done it has evolved over the years dramatically. I used to do a lot of the cutesy doodling, handwriting, fun stuff, and since then it's just pared down and pared down and pared down and pared down to absolutely pretty much none of that. However, what I will say is when I was teaching, I was super into my bullet journal, but it was for completely different reasons. My bullet journal then looked 100% different than it does right now. If you're interested in seeing a more complex bullet journal system, check out my teacher bullet journal, which I posted quite a few years ago now. But there's definitely a little bit more going on there in terms of spreads and, collections and things like that. But that's because I had completely different needs. Supplies that I use right now. This is my bullet journal. This is an old Baron Fig notebook. This is technically an A5, or that's what they call it, but it's a little smaller than an A5. It's this really nice linen cover, dot grid. It's beautiful. The pages are not numbered, so I have to do that, but I'm not going to. And then inside the front cover, I put my main supply, which is a stencil. That's it there. And then if I'm feeling fancy, which is not often, I own only 3 zebra mild liners. I used to have a gray one, but I've used it up and still working on these 3. And then I use whatever junky ballpoint pen I have around. Sometimes I use my fountain pen if I'm feeling fancy, but I like to do to-do lists in print, not in cursive. So you have that. That's the supplies. I have 2 tabs. I've had these tabs for, I don't even know, 4 years. Somehow they are admittedly losing their stickiness, but it was a lot of work to make these tabs. So I have a today tab and I have a month tab. That's it for my supplies. Let's talk about spreads. I have 2. That's it. I have no collections. I have no index. Let me just show you. Let me just take it down for a second. All right, here we go. Here's the big tour, everybody. So you open it up and there's nothing here. I have not had any time to decorate, nor do I really feel the need to, quite honestly. This is such a practical tool for me that look how many pages I left. I thought I had the intention of doing an index and it's just not gonna happen. So here is what a typical month looks like for me. So I use my handy dandy stencil for the month title, that's about it. Then I've got my days of the week across the top. I'm a Monday through Sunday kind of gal, so this is my weekends. And here's what it looks like. So I've got events, places I need to be, my nephew was born here. And these were YouTube videos I was making for that Thursday. Pickleball, yoga, stuff like that. I was back on YouTube on this day. We had date night there, all good. That's what a typical month looks like. That's about it. And then here's where we get to the weekly spread. This has not changed. This is always the same. So I just put the date on the top in fountain pen in this case. And then on the left column, I usually list all the to-dos that I have. If I have more to-dos for that day, they spill over, but typically the events that I have just go on the top right. So for this day, I had a 3:30 interview. It was one of my friend's birthdays, and then I had an interview, and then I was having a chat with Bree on that day. So that's pretty much how I schedule it. or lay everything out. And then this, so since I have 6 boxes here, this is just kind of like my miscellaneous catch-all list area. So sometimes I will take these and like migrate them to other days of the week or just cross them out as I do them. Dun, 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 dun. That's it. Here's another week. This was before I started working, so pretty slim, but I'll show you what this week looks like. So as you can see, it looks exactly the same, even though we have had many months in between. I freehand these. It's not perfect, and that's part of the fun. So I had an appointment here. You know, these are my to-do lists for the day. And this is my monthly spread. And here, oops, see, I told you it's not sticky anymore. Went ahead and did a couple plain ones. So this is what is coming down the line. And then here's July. So again, I use the zebra mild liner and I use my fountain pen ink here, and that's it. That's it, everybody. Okay, so advice for if you're a new bullet journaler or if you have been bullet journaling for a long time, I just don't look at bullet journal stuff personally online. Maybe occasionally, but I just find it to be like so beautifully intimidating that I'm like, if I doodled like that every week, like I would never bullet journal, but I'm also not a big like doodler. So everyone's different, right? Like, so for me, I just wanted something that's 100% functional. So my main piece of advice would be to look at, what do you need this for? Like, what function does your bullet journal serve in your life? For me, it's just 100% about workflow and helping me to kind of manage my life and manage the to-dos that I have. So and that changed, right, when I was a teacher, right? But for right now in my job, what I need like a no fuss system that I can just get to my to-do list fast. I can see my month at a glance. That's what I need, and that's enough. So, you know, giving yourself permission to create the planner that you need is what I'm saying to you right now. That would be my top advice. And you know, the comparison trap, I feel like, especially in the bullet journal community, more so than in the actual like journaling land, but in bullet journaling, I feel like is really real. So let it go. Enjoy, make yourself whatever it is you need to make. I hope my boring bullet journal brought you some either giggles or inspiration or just permission to do whatever it is that you want to do in your planner. So thank you so much for joining me, and I will talk